In the shadow of his mother's power, Orin, a warrior crowned with feathers of victory, stands as an unhidden force. His warriors, forged in the fires of relentless training, are its legacy. Each battle fought, each victory claimed. A feather is added to his crown, yet love remains a distant echo. His wives a mere vessel for legacy and pleasure. Orin knew not the warmth of affection. I will rule the land of Ilarot, taxing his people heavily. I will give the land of Ira to slave trade, taking turns with the king of Ira's daughters and giving them to slavery. He is tired of them, and any maiden he finds pleasurable, refusing him is a death sentence. Men who try to save their sisters meet judgment. I will turn his father's peaceful kingdom into terror, still pretending like the sheep before his nieces Nora and Maria. The king of Ira traveled to Orin, weary of oppression. He told Orin everything. Orin obliged to help them from oppression easily, knowing he is to wear the sword against arrow for vengeance. His mother, the princess, once of peril. She had visions. Some would stab her son to death with the sword of power, but fear is a stranger to Orin. Orin said to his mother, "Harold took everything from me, my best friend. The last words he said to me, he was hide the sword, a king slaughtered like an animal. My father's last breath echoing our names in despair. Died a painful death. I can't forget their faces. Their laughter turned to silence. My nightmares haunt me, relentless reminders of my loss. I stand at the crossroad of duty and destiny. I wield my strength for the voiceless, for in their struggle lies my purpose." Igbani the princess trembled as her son journeyed. She prayed for victory and safe return. The battleground, clash of steel echoes. Orin saw Adewale, the one who betrayed his father for his position standing before him. Adewale boasts before Orin, "I shall kill you the way I killed your father." Orin wielded his sword, saying, "Never underestimate your enemy." As he counted 3 steps forward, Adewale, not understanding Orin's tactic, swung his sword against Orin. Orin dodged, spinning, and as he faced Adewale, his sword was in Adewale's throat, blood gushing out as he fell down. The army of Ilaro feared to attack Orin, seeing how he killed their commander within seconds. Orin raised his sword above his head. The army of Ilaro feared to attack Orin. Aro flee from the battle with his mother, the rest of his warriors and family. He made sure everyone entered the hall safely aside Nora. Maria said, "I will ride with Nora." Aro shouted and said, "Nora rides with him." He turned to Nora and said, "He will stay." Nora's eyes filled with tears. "Listen, Orin will take you as slave. We need you there. Do it for your sister." He jumped on the horse and left with the rest of his warriors, leaving a warrior with Nora to be taken as slave. Orin arrived late at the palace. The palace was desolate. He turned his horse, riding hard, he saw a guard dragging a maiden to a tree, and he followed. The warrior stripped Nora, saying, "No one will deliver you from me." Nora cried. Orin, there with his horse. The warrior ran at the sight of Orin. Nora scared what he would do to her. Will he also take her innocence? To her surprise, Orin stretched her clothes, a command, "Cover yourself." She said, "My lord." Orin turned, not knowing she was standing so close to him. Nora tried to shift backward but tripped. Orin's hand grabbed her waist before she could fall, and her hands grabbed his chest. Orin stared deep into her eyes for a moment and carried her on his horse to the battleground. He handed her to Dele. "Add her to your slave," he commanded. Dele carried Nora down. Orin called Dele back and commanded no warrior should lay their hands on her. Dele nodded and smiled. Relief filled Igbani's heart as Orin called her name. She hears whenever her son calls her name, so she just listens. She knows when is victory. He had triumphed, she said to the people. She prepared ritual feasts for Orin's return. The next day, Orin returned. His people gathered to welcome him. Maidens wear beautiful dress, praying he sees and pick one of them. Igbani the priestess hugged her son. She asked, "Son, why are you sad?" Orin said, "I will escape with his household. He lives." She patted his shoulder and said, "You did well, son." Her eyes fell on Nora, so foreign in her realm. Why did a chill grip her heart? She moved close as she asked Nora, "What is your name?" Nora answered, her eyes filled with secret. Igbani felt chill more as she concentrated on Nora. Nora trembled. She had heard a lot about Igbani, the one who put her ears to the ground and heard her enemies. At the mention of her name, the priestess appears and hears all. Igbani felt a chill as her concentration faltered. Orin's word of speech to his people distracted Igbani. The female slave were shared amongst Orin's 3 wives. The strongest of the male slaves forged into warriors. Nora fell into the hands of Iyanu, the second wife of King Orin. Iyanu's envy burns, her hostility a reminder of her heart's dissolution. Nora's beauty scares Iyanu. Nora, trembling at the thoughts, Nora realizes the cruelty in Iyanu's eyes. Iyanu taxed Nora with the impossible, and when she cannot meet his demands, she punishes her at will. Nora feels the weight of Iyanu watches like a puppet master, relishing her control. Iyanu the queen, basking in her own vanity, assigned the slave girls in the farm to fetch water, knowing Nora was among them, while she indulged in a leisurely bath at the stream. As darkness creeps, Nora seeks for another stream. They told her holding the great warrior and those it permits can use it. Knowing its dangers, fear binding them. But we cannot wait, not for our wings. We need to find a way. They shared a secret amongst themselves. The queen got furious later that day over their success. She called the head of the farm department to demand answers. The lady said, "I had assigned them a task and they carried it out successfully." Hungrily, she asked her maids to get the slave girls. She questioned how they got water. They all said, "Stream, my lady." "We speak the truth," the slave answered. Nora, knowing where it will end, decides to take the fall since it was her idea. She revealed their cleverness. "We cleared the path leading to a far end of the stream where we fetched water." She dismissed the rest slaves and slapped Nora, claiming she saw her nakedness. She said to Nora, "Kneel to dawn." She walked close to her guard and said, "Punish her and do as you please." Nora heard her command. She prayed silent for her God to deliver her out of the hands of the warrior. Nora's spirit, unbroken as the guards and threatened to strip her, she refused to cower as the guard engaged in a struggle with her. But then, Orin and Dele, passing through, stopped at the sight of them, and the tide shifted. Orin couldn't believe his eyes. Such wickedness in his kingdom. His warrior Dele seized the guard. Nora's heart races. Hers as he carried her away. He saved her at war in wonder. Why his heart beat and why he felt more touch knowing his hair. She wake up to the Havanose hands on her. Little by little, she got her memory and asked, "Who are you?" "I am the royal physician. This is the warrior's quarters." She started packing all her stuff together. "What are you doing?" "I want to go. It's day," Nora said. "I know you are beautiful, but beauty is nothing to the warrior king," the physician said. "He brought you here. You want to leave, on whose command?" She was done packing, went to the gate. While Nora was trying to sneak out, she heard voices. "My lord, she has fever. She needs to rest and take medication." Orin's voice command, "Open." Nora ran from the window, but before she could go to the bed, Orin walked in. "How are you?" Orin asked. Nora put her head down, didn't say a word. Orin command, "Raise your head." Nora lifted her head. "What is your name?" "Nora, a slave from..." Orin's word cut him. "No one bears such name in that land." Nora. Nora said, "My father is from Hara. My mother is from Hilaro." "Tidy thyself, I shall return," Orin command. He turned his back. Nora was caught in thoughts. Then she remembered what the nurse said. She went back to the window and crawled out. Iyanu was told all that transpired the night, and that the guard was seized by the warriors. What made her furious was hearing Orin carried Nora when she fainted. Such a long distance to the warriors' quarter. She asked, "Where is she now?" The guard said, "I saw her leave for the farm with her friends." Orin's first and last wife mocked Iyanu for her action towards the maid. They engaged in an argument. Iyanu called the first wife hypocrite, and that soon the third wife would see her true nature. At night, Nora was called by the royal instructor, "Go to the stream." The queen, Iyanu, said that there are herbs at the left side of the stream, and maids need seeds for healing. Nora said, "But no one goes to the stream at night." The instructor said, "You do as you are told." Nora turned to go, but the instructor commanded, "The king's stream." Nora's feet could not move hearing that. She sang and cried at the stream. Orin and Dele heard voice from afar. "Who dares come to this stream without his permission?" She stood up at the sound of footsteps, seeking where to hide. There was nowhere to go except through the entrance. Dele rushed forward and pointed the sword at Nora. Orin, in shock to see it was Nora. Dele's voice thundered, "How dare you come to the stream, knowing it is forbidden?" Nora said, "I was asked by a guard." "You dare lie before the king?" Dele questioned. He drew out his sword. Before he could strike, Orin spoke, "Take her to my chamber, tie her in my room, and get my mother to come clean the silver." Dele wondered for a moment, but obeyed. Dele took Nora away. Marie invited her uncle Aro to the city gate. She was amongst the watchmen. "Before I see my sister, you ask and marry the old King Shola in exchange for his warriors. My sister, you ask her captured as slave, so she can get to whose heart, a man unworthy. Do you know what it means to be captured as slaves? Do you ever ask what those warriors do to slave girls? Rape, torture, and not just one man, men. And my sister is as beautiful as the morning sun. Did you not think? That's why I sent her," Haro thundered. "She's beautiful, and if she gets to Orin's heart, we..." Mary shouted, "No, we! You trade my innocent sister. She cannot even wear sword. Now you want to trade me for marriage for warriors to an old king?" She laughed. "I heard words and they are true. You lied about my sister. If not now, you are admitting. Maybe the words we've been hearing about you are all true." Aro got angry, but before he could take a step, Marie blew out substance on his face, jumped on her horse, and killed any soldier that tried to stop her. She rode the horse as far as her strength could carry. Nora shocked as Orin walked in. Next morning, he untied Nora and sat on his bed watching her. Nora sometimes fixed her eyes down and sometimes still glances at him. Thoughts racing in her heart. Finally, he spoke. "I have had enough patience with you." "At that hour, what are you doing at the stream?" he echoed. "The guard sent me," Nora said. "The guard walked in the warriors' chambers and sent you." "Do you sit there and lie before my face?" he said. "No," Nora said. "I left for my duty, and when I retired to bed, I was called upon by the instructor. that the queen, the one I serve, wants to heal her maid with an herb at the left side of the stream. He stand up, wearing his crown, go freshen up, stay, and rest. I shall return. He turned back after a few steps. When I return, I shall find you here, scarf, and walked hard. Nora stayed in silence 3 days. King Orin didn't come to her. Maid brought all she needed, but no one spoke to her, and when she tried to go out, the guards refused. She was tired. She looked out and saw guards marching in large numbers and maids carrying arms. What is going on? A guard called her to join them, that they are going for war. Nora's heart fighting, thinking it's a war against her uncle. Orin bid his mother goodbye and asked she'd take care of his son. He looked at his mother's eyes and saw fear. Then he asked her, "When do you start doubting me, mother?" She said, "No, I do not doubt you, but I worry for your safety." Orin said, "Worry not," as his eyes met Nora, who was well dressed. His mother followed his eyes, but the maidens were much, so her eyes couldn't pick which one attracted her son. Iyanu, irritated when she saw Nora living with Orin, her fury increased. "My lord, I have never massaged anyone before." Orin said, "I know. Do it the way you can." She smiled and asked, "How do you know?" Orin said, "I know more than you can imagine." She placed her hands on Orin's back. Nora asked, "Why the sand?" Orin said, "Your hands are healing me." "What are you thinking right now?" "Nothing," Nora said. He turned and held Nora's hand against his chest. She quickly withdrew her hands, facing her head to the ground. Orin sat up and said, "Go." Nora ran out to the royal healer. The nurse patted Nora's back as she breathed heavily and gave Nora water. "Why does this seem calm and nice?" The nurse replied, "Because he is calm and nice. Orin is a good king. We can't ask for more. He is our guardian, and I think that guardian likes you." Nora scoffed and poured water on her dress. In her thoughts, she said, "No, he is a wicked man." Nora was asked to take water to Orin's tent. He was sleeping when she entered, and she stared at him, remembering her uncle's words. Orin is fortified by his mother. The only one who can kill him is the one he loves. He hasn't told any woman he loves her. Win his heart, and when he reveals where the sword of power is, pierce it through his heart, and he shall die. She looked back on the bed. Orin wasn't there. She jumped off. She walked back and hit Orin. As Orin turned her, faced him. "Why are you lost in thought? Speak," Nora said. "I need to go, my lord." Orin listened to her heartbeat and asked in his thoughts, "Why does Chief hear me?" He pulled her off and said, "Go." There was no war. The king asked for peace. Orin knows Olin's sword. They stayed days and saw the king has repented, so he decided to leave, but asked Dele to stay with few soldiers amongst the people and see if the king has honestly repented. When he got back to his tent, he asked Nora if she believed in peace. Nora said yes. He had a nice conversation with her. Orin marched back with his warriors, leaving some behind. When they arrived warriors' land, Orin was busy with his mother's ritual. Nora, unsure where to go since she didn't receive orders from anyone, returned back to the slave yard. The princess sat aside talking with her son, asking why he agreed to peace. What if the king reinforced or joined forces with other enemies? Orin said, "That's their headache. We await them." Igbani smiled and made brought food. Orin ate happily. King Orin decided to go to his room and not the warrior's chamber. To his surprise, Nora wasn't there. He asked his second best warrior, Bayo, Bayo said, maybe she has